So as we can see, I've did a pre-selection of some images. Like these were the ones where as mentioned before, the continuous light was on white balance pretty cold. So I didn't like it. So what I did now is I've changed the white balance to more yellow, and this for me makes a nice image. So this is an image straight out of camera, no retouching, so just the way it is. So I'm gonna show you what I've selected. So these are the images I like. Now, for me personally, my preference goes out to the first one and the third one. Why? No idea. It just does. So I'm going to be retouching today the third one together with you. So first of all, let's see. It is pretty sharp. Always nice to see that I still have some hair going on. So yeah, let's adjust it. First of all, I want to light up the shadows a bit. So we're gonna do the blacks and the whites. Now let's see if it is not overexposed. It is a little bit over here. So I'm gonna drag down the highlights somewhere around there, and also the whites are gonna come down, something like that. Should be totally fine. Now, I also want this part to be darker. So what I'm going to do is window, create floating tool. Let's look for layers. There we go. And I'm going to be dragging a layer from this part up. We can show it by hitting the M key on the keyboard. So where the red part is, that will be the part um, that will be affected. And I want to lower the opacity a bit, give it a little bit more yellowish cast, bring up the shadows down so that the attention goes more to my face instead of to my sweater, which is like logical. And then when this is done, I'm gonna export it out as a TIFF file, 16-bit, uncompressed, 300 pixels per inch, 100. So let's see if we can find the button, because normally I'm doing this on a 4K screen, and voila. Let's export one image. Then let's open this image up in Photoshop with a pen. I'm using a pen tablet. So first things first, what I'm gonna do is remove all the imperfections. Not that I have any, but let's go for it. So I'm just gonna use a normal healing brush, and I'm just gonna paint over the things that bug me. Like these catch a lot of attention. I want them to be gone. And again, don't keep it natural, because every small step along the way will in the end, like this highlight I don't like, so I'm gonna use the patch tool, circle around it, drag it up, and done. It's the same like the hairs that catch too much attention in my beard. I want them to be gone, so I'm gonna change it back to like, and yes, I'm at the stage that I am getting gray. I don't care, but yeah, let's keep it clean. There we go. And as you can see, the only thing I'm doing is just like removing small stuff, because people will see the image eventually, something like that. So it's not really an issue. Zooming in can be done with Control plus or Control minus. So you can zoom in and zoom out. Now, there are different techniques for skin retouching we can use. I'm going to be using in this one frequency separation. You have a lot of plugins you can use. For instance, you have Nino Batista's plugin, which allows you to uh, do frequency separation automated, which is really nice. I'm not going to show you that one. I'm going to do it manually. So yeah, we have frequency separation actions on the website, but just I'm going to run my action, which is based on a median and not on a Gaussian blur. So when I'm zooming in, that's the question I get asked a lot. Like, what amount do we put in the radius? Now, the goal is to not 60, somewhere around 10, and always go up by 5 until the stage that all the texture is gone, because the texture you're removing now will be separated on a new texture layer. So as we can see, 5 not enough, because we can still see all the things. 10 starting to get there. Oh, 15, 15, 16-ish. That will be fine. So I'm gonna go for 16. Now, with frequency separation, it splits the image into color and texture. I will be making a separate video about that, how it works later on. But for now, let's just focus on continuing this retouching. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a mixer brush with these settings. I'm not gonna go too much into detail about the settings. And now we are not painting color, we're pushing colors into the parts where we want it to be. So for instance, what we are doing now is evening out the color transitions in this image. Like we don't want this. You can tell it's fake. So I'm gonna undo this. Not that I was gonna do it, but yeah, just to show you. So there we go. And because we have done this, you can see even if I paint over it, it still retains all the texture in it. Now, if we go to the high, we are using a clone stamp. Make sure that the hardness is set to 100. And as you can see, we can just paint the texture now over the parts where we want it to be adjusted. I'm sure you never thought you would see me this close, but hey, first time for everything, as we say. And again, keep in mind the image will be like used as a profile picture, so it will not be huge or anything. It will just be like, yeah, it is what it is. If I zoom out again, like, do I bug me for this line? Let's see if I remove it. Yeah, it's better. But I still want to be me, not like when clients come here, they go like, "Who are you? You look completely different." Yeah, no, let's not do that. So I'm switching, like I said, between the clone stamp and the mixer brush. This is how it's done, old school. Nothing too fancy, just clone stamp, healing brush. The only thing you have to watch out for is when you're using the clone stamp to not create like repeating patterns. Like here you can see, make sure that you sample from different sources. And we cannot emphasize that enough. Sample from different sources. It is really important. Let's blend this a little bit more. I know not the most energetic tutorial there is, but yeah, this is real life of retouching. um, so yeah, I'm happy with this. I think I see some stuff going on here. There we go. And also, like, oh, never ever forget when you're doing this to zoom out, zoom back in. This way, you will have a better idea of what's going on in the image. Again, mixer brush, and then I'm gonna color out my red veins in my eye. There we go. And every little step we take is a step towards the final product. So you will be like, why is he putting so much time in it? Well, like I said in the beginning, the more time you put into these small things, the better the end result will be. There we go. Let's remove some texture here. There we go. And I think if we compare it before, after, what I've done is I've just smoothed out transitions in color. So that's one step. Now, the next step will be dodging and burning, not exposure. I need my curves, baby. Curves going up. I duplicate it. Curves going down. So this will be darken. This will be lighten. Invert layer mask. Drag them both out of the frequency separation. Group them and call them dB. Duplicate them dB2. That was quick, I think, but you get the idea, I suppose. So now what we're gonna do is doing some dodging and burning. Make sure that you have white and dark. So the white will be like creating some highlights in the image, and the dark will be creating some depth in the image. So what I can do with this is like fill up those little gaps. Making some things darker and some things brighter, which in the end will emphasize the depth in a face. It will create it more three-dimensional again. So that's something to keep in mind. And again, don't go too crazy with these things. I'm just making sure that I don't have any weird shapes going on. Because now I'm at the stage that I am happy, but I'm gonna reduce the opacity like 80-ish somewhere. I want to create some more depth in my actual eyes. I'm gonna create like a curve, drag it out of this one, drag it up somewhere around there, and then with a brush, I'm gonna like paint in some eye reflections. I messed one up, so this one will be like on this side. Let's zoom out a bit. There we go. So we also want to like one point will be like brighter than the other one. Like when I zoom out now, seems like I've been crying. So let's reduce this. Let's first change the blend mode to screen, then reduce it to like 80-ish. Let's see. And then blur it a bit with Gaussian blur, like 10-ish. 10-ish would be too much. 2-ish. Somewhere around there, I'm happy with it. Yeah. Even like 50% will be better. And then we just keep on building like curves. I want like a little bright spot inside of the eye. So what I'm gonna do is paint like a little thingy in my eye, blur it like 20-ish. 20 is too much. 10, yeah, 10 will be fine. And then this one we still have, but I'm not gonna use it, so I'm gonna remove it. And then what I'm gonna do is play around with colors, the most magical part. I'm gonna group these, call it eyes, save it in between because we don't want to lose anything. Now, the most fun part, let's play around and see what we can come up with. More contrast. So that's the goal of this part. We want to create some more contrast in the image. Like this is also a possibility, but that it's too much for me. Like I'm gonna go with the brighter part, I think. Something like that. Then I'm gonna do a color balance. And I want my highlights to be a little bit more greenish. Why green? Because we have purple in the background going on. A little bit more yellow. Something like that. Yeah. You can see the difference. Like this is an okay image. This makes me pop out of the image. Now, we see that the lower part is getting back some interesting details, but I want it not so much. So below my toning group, I'm gonna be dragging this point down, and then with a brush, normal brush, low opacity, I'm gonna start painting over my sweater because, like I said in the beginning, I want to keep like the attention going on into my face. There we go. Almost happy with it. Now I'm gonna go back to my eyes section, to my dodge and burn section, and in the lighter part, I'm gonna perhaps lighten a little bit this part and on my lips. Darken. There we go. Make sure that you're painting with white, otherwise you won't see anything. So I'm going around the dark edges of my eye to create some more depth. And now, final thing I will be doing is creating a curves just for the eyes to create some more contrast in my eyes. Zooming in, but now the effect is everywhere. We invert it and then we just like paint over it, because in an image where the contrast is, the attention will go off the viewer. So keep that in mind. Now, I'm really happy with this. What I'm gonna try is play around a little bit more with the color balance because we didn't do midtones. Nice. So before, after, you can see the shift. It's going on. Like now, my face is more in attention. Now everything is more to the same part of attention. I'm not sure which one I like better. I think I like this one better, so I'm gonna reduce the opacity to like 10. Then another one, like another color balance. Let's do shadows this time. Voila. Like this is also a vibe, but that would be too dark, especially commercially speaking. So let's just drag this one a little bit more to the yellow. And if you want precise control, you always have the selective color, which splits up all the colors separately. Like the yellow, I can decide like, hey, I don't want it that yellow, or I want it really saturated. So somewhere around there. That's a place I like them to be, I think. Because this is too yellowish. This is a little bit more muted, and I like it that way. And let's try one final thing. Let's create like some sort of vignetting going on. Then let's take the marquee tool, somewhere around there. Let's fill it up with white. Let's invert it. And then let's feather out. Let's see, is it an extra or not? I like it, but it might be a bit too dark. So let's do it like that. And then let's saturate it a little bit more. Like this is desaturation, which is also cool, I think. Yeah, might be cool. I like it. Was not the goal, but I'm definitely liking this fight. So yeah, things are going smoothly. Saving it again. And you can keep on playing around. Like you can even do a black and white, put it like 10% and then play around with the colors. Like pinkish, we want it darker, brighter. Yellow, we want it darker, brighter. but I'm gonna keep that away. And this one, I'm gonna do like 70-ish. And I'm happy with it. Now, the last step I'm gonna be doing is saving it for sure. And I'm also gonna do some liquefy. Quick tip, if you want liquefy to be able to adjust it after the effects, just make sure that when you do it like this, you make a smart object out of it. So you just go to like filter, convert for smart filters. And that way, when you do liquefy, you have the possibility to go back and readjust where needed. So what I'm gonna be doing is just some small changes. Nothing too crazy. Just some more like, how do we say it? Aesthetical pleasing things. There we go. There we go. A little bigger color. And I'm happy with that. So as you can see, nothing too crazy. And now I'm gonna be saving it out. And I'm gonna be sharpening my eyes. And there we go. So new profile picture. So, as you've seen, you can do a lot with just some post production. You can tint the image, you can change some things in the image, you can remove imperfection in the image, you can do a lot. Probably the video went a little pretty quick, but because the recording time was getting pretty long, I had to speed things up. So make sure if you want to learn how to Photoshop, keep subscribed to the channel, or you can always attend a one-on-one workshop or a group workshop if you're interested. Head over to my website, www.gunterfrans.be. There are all the workshops that are planned in the near future, and feel free to get in touch with me if you're interested in these kind of things. That's it for now. If you got questions about the video, let me know below. Subscribe, join, do all the things we need to do, and then I'll see you when I see you. Ciao, ciao.